Hello and welcome to another episode of the Bazaar Over Explained, and today we are playing Dooley. Dooley recently got a new expansion where there are many new items to try out, and I would like to see if we could utilize some today. So let's go to JJ here and see if we can find some fun things to do. Okay, so the Copper Ed has been buffed, so it has a shorter cooldown by at least 1 second, and it's going to level up and have a shorter cooldown from there. I do like that item, and you know what? I'm willing to take these two items here to fill out our board. I've played the pulse rifle so many times, so I'd like to do something a little bit different with this run, and here's a pretty interesting one. Here's the Flint stone, so it's going to burn 3 damage or burn for 3 for each relic or tool that we have, and it has an increased cooldown if we have a tech item. Now, the induction aegis is a tech item, but the hamlet is a tool. I will take this Flintstones, and I'm going to take this Hamlet too, and maybe look to see if I can replace this Induction Aegis with something else, but we'll get to that point a little bit later. First, let's look at our fights here. So, Fanged Inglet could have a small Fang for us, which is good. Kyver Drone I do like as well, because it could synergize with this Hamlet. Just saying that when we slow, we could gain more damage, so we could go into that sort of build. Yeah, let's see if I can build the synergy around that. Here's this train skill here that I was speaking about. Also, the insect wing and the feather have all been nerfed in terms of how much cooldown reduction they're going to give you in each of your runs. So, that notably kind of across the board, there's going to be less cooldown reduction in the game, which is an interesting change, and I want to see how that all kind of transpires in our runs here. And getting an insect wing here wouldn't be bad. I think, again, I really want this train skill most of all. Maybe we could put an insect wing on a Flintstones. Let's see. Okay, we get the stinger. Well, the stinger works with our Hamlet. Did this get a new tag? No. It still is a small weapon. And now we also, at the beginning of our runs, gain 2 experience points, so we're always going to level up on day 1, which is nice. And do we want to go to the Jungle Ruins? I believe the Jungle Ruins now gives us this option here, which we couldn't get on Dooley before, but there's a silver option now. It says get a small silver tier tool from any hero. And that works well with our Hamlet, or with our Flintstones rather. And okay, Power Sander, I'll take it. So it could do something, well, we'll slow the item to the left, so I guess we kind of want to slow. That's an interesting thing. Could maybe do something like this. We'll see if this gets the slow trigger. I'm curious to see that, but I would like to haste that item at the very least. Maybe even this one. Let's look at a bronze tier skill. Okay, crit chance is good. Across the board here. Yeah, I think 5 crit chance across the board could be better than just right eye. Initial dose could help us win this early fight here. I kind of want to just find as many tools as I can and relics for this Flintstones, so maybe I do just want to get right eye and give this the most crit chance. I could also look for a burn skill, which could be pretty good. Yeah, I think that's a better way to spend 5 gold. And then we see 2 pretty good skills here. We didn't hit the burn skill, but we did see right-handed and strength. Right-handed and strength are very similar right now for us. Right-handed could put some 20 damage on the stinger, which is nice, just to have this heal for 25 as well. I think strength is going to be a little bit better in the long run, so I'm going to take that. Okay, so the tiny furry monster could give us a skill because we have a friend, but I'm going to go to middle here and see if we can maybe find an economy item or something else for our board. I don't really like the security camera. Microdave is pretty potent. It doesn't necessarily synergize with our Flintstones, but we could take the Induction Aegis and the Stinger off the board and play the Dave. Chem Snail's good with Hamlet. That's something to know for sure. Yeah, if I took this off the board and took this off the board, would I rather have Microdave or Chem Snail? I think the answer right now is Microdave, so I'm going to take that. I will re-roll here to see if I can get like a Satcom. It's not what I get, but there is Brick Buddy. Blastdoors I'm also a big fan of, and you know the welding torch is a tool for our Flintstones, so that could be pretty nice. Yeah, I'll take the welding torch. I don't think it's better than Microdave currently, and we can actually check that real quick. So, welding torch, 7 seconds, this is 7 seconds. This would go down to 3.5, potentially just because we have this Flintstones, but I don't really want to play the Induction Aegis on board. Or rather, the Copper Ed gives us shielding for the welding torch. But yeah, I don't really want to play this Induction Aegis right now. I want this to go off as much as possible, so let's run it. Kind of a all over the place build here, but we do have a lot of small weapons at the very least, or small items rather, and that'll be good for our micro Dave. So what does this Dooley have? They have SATCOM, first aid in, they have a battery, and we don't have a lot of defenses, so that's pretty scary on their pulse rifle. We'll see how this transpires here. They are doing a lot of damage to us very quickly. We're starting to stack up our burn though. And are we going to get to the point where it's more than what they're doing? We're really close here. The battery has run out, so I think we just narrowly get there. Nice. Okay. Pretty scary fight here on day one, but we get there, and yeah, Flintstones, Micro Dave doing their thing. 36 burn on this thing. It's pretty good. Let's, real quick, I would have liked to... I didn't check to see if this is actually proccing this, but we can do that later. Let's just keep our momentum moving forward here into day two. Okay, so we could get another silver tier tool. I'm not opposed to that, regardless of if we could have gotten the slow item here for the Hamlet. I think just getting a guaranteed silver item that is a tool that works with our Flintstones is nice. And okay, box cutter, this is a new item. Let's take a look at this. So 3-second cooldown, deal 50 damage, permanently decrease this item's damage by 1, and when you level up, this gains 50 damage. Wow, okay. That's interesting. That's really cool. I guess we could put it on the board like that. Yeah, gain 60 damage every 3 seconds is pretty nice. Okay, yeah, I like that a lot. And, instead of going to Kev's Armory here, we do have gold to maybe look for some more tools. I like just getting this max HP here. This can make all the difference in our next fight. And I'm looking at the Warrior here, so we don't have a lot of defense, but we do have a pretty tremendous offense here. I think we'd be able to defeat them. If we could get something like our frontal shielding, I think that could be good for us, but they have this Temple Expedition ticket. So when we reach day 9, if we have this ticket, we'll have the opportunity to go to a secret event, which is the Green Expedition Temple, and that can have some pretty crazy legendary items and rewards for us. So it's certainly worth trying to get this if we can. And at the very least sells for some gold. Okay, Sharpening Stone, not bad. And we are about to level up here, so I would want to fill out our board with more items. I guess I can put the torch on board. We don't have another shielding item that I really want to play right now, so maybe we're not really in for the torch. We do have a lot of burn items. I could also go to Midsworth and sell off the torch. I'm not opposed to doing that. Could have some small items for us. Could also go to the pyre and try and keep burning out. Yeah, free item seems decent, and especially it's a burn one. Okay, Induction Aegis. Well, as I said, not really the one that we want, but it's the one that we got. Okay, so we do not have the Ignition Core, which is probably the one that I would have wanted the most. We do have this Primal Core here, which is a pretty nice one. It will bump up the damage on our dinosaurs and relics. We don't have any, however, it does give that type, the relic type, to the adjacent item, so we could still play it. And we do have one relic that could charge this thing. We don't have any dinosaurs, but I really would like to showcase this Primal Core as well as the dinosaur items, so I'm willing to put it on board for right now, even if it's not optimal. Okay, and there's Curio. So Curio, let's see, we could get some damage buffs to our board, maybe a little bit of a haste buff would be nice. Also thinking we do this for our Micro Dave. And with that, yeah, is there anything we really want right now? I don't want to kind of roll and spend a lot of money on these items specifically, just because I think these items are not super powerful. So I'm willing to go to the Lost Crate here, and let's see, we could get a skill, and what skills would matter to us? Damage skills, burn skills, and then haste skills or slow skills? I think it's worth just getting a medium item. It's Brick Buddy, alright. Brick Buddy's not a bad one. And yeah, wow, this box cutter is really big already. That's super cool. And it's going to have a pretty low cooldown, thus it's going to charge our Primal Core. I'm also wondering if we do something like this, so that our Primal Core is being charged by our Micro Dave going off. That would also give some more burn to our Flintstones. Yeah, we're not going to be utilizing the damage buff on our Hamlet, but I think that this Primal core is going to do more damage overall, so I do like this. And why don't we go ahead and put this on our Primal core. I think this item is going to be the one that we're going to be having on our board for the longer term portion of the game compared to these other items. So let's put some damage on that and fight this mech. Now I feel so strong on day 3 here, just because or day 2, just because I have a full board, but so does everyone else. So okay. So interesting, they have their blank slate, they've chosen to play it, but it doesn't do anything right now. They're going to be giving a lot of regen. Yeah, I think we're a-okay in this fight. The box cutter just chunked them so much. The stats on this thing are crazy. If we just keep leveling up, it's going to gain 50 damage. We're not really utilizing it that much, so wow. Yeah, it's a cool item. Alright, day 3 here. So there's Barkin. We do have 3 small items I'd be looking to sell, so yeah, why don't we go to Barkin here? Maybe we find something cool to go with our build. Let's sell off the Stinger, sell off Copper Ed. Yeah, I don't really think I want this Abduction Aegis. And Copper Ed could have large items, which could be dinosaurs, so I am willing to roll here just to see if I could spike one of them. I don't, but I get Micro Dave. Sure. Doing 2 more burn is not the worst. And Thermal Lance is a tool, so is the Welding Torch. This is not going to be getting hasted anytime soon. The Weak Point Detector is a tool, and it could slot in on our board, bump up our damage a little bit. Yeah, it's not really the tool I'm looking for though. Let's keep going. Okay. Here's an interesting decision, B1, B2 versus Andy. Well, why don't we pull up Bazaar.gg and look at some of the way that these items scale. Okay, so I'm going to go to our items, and I want to look at Flint Stones. So Flint Stones is going to burn just 1 more for each relic or tool that we have. Well, that is a pretty good portion of burn that we could put on this thing. It has a really low cooldown too, so I kind of do like that. The other one here I'm thinking of is maybe the Hamlet, but I think guaranteed silver on this Flintstones. This thing does just a ton of burn for how early it is in the game. 24 burn on day 3 is really nice. Yeah, let's fight the eccentric Aetheryte. They, I believe, have a ticket. Yes, they do. I really would like this ticket. They also have the rigged skill. And additionally, they have goggles, which is a tool for our relic, or for our Flintstones. Yeah, I know force field builds are still alive and well, but don't necessarily need to play that. And let's see what we get here. Okay, we got the goggles, nice. So, more damage for our Flintstones, and we'll take it. And, you know, we're so far ahead here, I'm just going to take this opportunity to get some more chocolates. Alright, so I do think I want to play these goggles. We'll see if we want to play the Welding Torch. Could maybe take the Power Sander off, put the Welding Torch on. Not opposed to that. In terms of bronze tier items, I don't really want to upgrade the Welding Torch. I, again, want to go into dinosaurs if I have the opportunity to do so. But a bronze tier skill comparatively, you know, let's just take the opportunity to put some guaranteed damage on this Welding Torch. It's going to have a lower cooldown, going to be at 3 seconds ideally, so that'd be pretty good for us. Now we have the opportunity to get a skill here. There's certainly a lot of skills that could benefit us, and I will sell off these chocolates. Do I want that versus a weapon? Again, if I want to go into dinosaurs, there are some weapons that are good for us, so I will take the risk here. There's a Hamlet upgrade. There's also an Uzi, which we could turn into a relic, which could be pretty nice for us. Could maybe take off the Welding Torch if we did that. I like the Uzi, it's just a good enabler. Hamlet, I really don't want to play this item realistically. I also know that the Armadillo works pretty well with some of the newer items. Yeah, I'm going to skip the Hamlet here. I might even take it off my board right now for this Uzi. Here we go. Put this guy on board, so our Primal core is going to be going off pretty quickly. And yeah, let's reroll here. Okay, there's Tanky, Ankey, and there's Dino Sawer. I definitely want both of these items. I'm going to be pretty easy to scrounge up the gold for this too. I'm not going to be playing the Brick Buddy. And yeah, do I want this kinetic cannon? This is also a very strong item. It will charge our core whenever we use a small item, We do have some pretty fast items. I definitely want the dinosaur. And I definitely want Tanky Ankey. Am I going to play Tanky Ankey? That's really the big question here. So I could take off Micro Dave. I could take off the goggles, put this in, and then Flintstones. Yeah, it's not going to be as powerful, but I think if I put that on board, this on board, still in a pretty good position here. The Primal Core is going to be charging, not our Uzi, our Tanky Yankee, and I do like that. We could also potentially put the Dino Sawer somewhere else. No, it already has the dinosaur tag for this, so it doesn't have the relic tag, but that's okay. I think I'm good with this. And yeah, let's go ahead and fight this Dooley. See what they have for us. So they went for the shielding, interesting. They also have a Tanky Yankee. They have a very similar build to us, and we're going to be doing a lot less damage because of it. They have a Primal Core too. They have this Trollosaur, which is really the thing I'm worried most about. But I think our Flintstones are just going to be too much for them. And yeah, even though that they destroyed our items, which feels bad, and they had a bigger Tanky Yankee than us, we still were able to do a lot of damage to them. Man, this box cutter really chewed them apart, and this Flintstone, so yeah, very impressive, both of these items, to say the least. I didn't even know this was not in the patch notes, this box cutter, so. Okay, so could gain another burn item, could get a non-weapon item, we could get like the Dino Disguise, if we want to go into this sort of thing. I think I just want to take the burn item here for free, and wow. Silver Plasma Grenade. Notably, this has been buffed in that it goes off faster and it has ammunition on it now, so it can go off more than once. I do like that. I mostly like taking the free item just to gain some gold. We don't have the most gold, and non-weapon items are not exactly what I was looking for, so I'll take the free thing. Now I'm going to go to JJ here over the docks and riches. Yeah, 4 gold is nice. The docks also gives us an item in gold, but again, I'm searching for dinosaurs, so I would like to go to JJ. These aren't really the things I'm looking for. The power drill is a tool, and you know, that's really interesting. When one of your dinosaurs deals damage, gain that much shield, and that doesn't synergize with the power drill, so I don't really want to utilize that. Okay, some interesting upgrades. I will definitely take an Uzi upgrade, so it's going to gain more ammunition. Forklift is also a very potent item. It has a 10-second cooldown. When you use an adjacent item, you charge it. If you have another tool, apparel, tech, weapon, or friend, this has plus 50 damage. So let's do a quick check on those tags. So I have a tool and apparel. Then we also have a tech item somewhere, I'm sure. No tech items. Okay, right. We deliberately chose not to have that. So no tech item. We do certainly have a weapon. We certainly have a friend. So right out the gate, this thing is going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to gain 200 damage. So it's going to be a 300 damage item on a pretty fast cooldown. Yeah, I think that sounds pretty nice. Even if we don't play it for the entirety of the game, we could do something like this. And yeah, the dinosaur is going off pretty quick. The box cutter is going off pretty quick. I do like this a lot. I'm wondering if I also put the box cutter somewhere else. This is a relic, which is interesting. Oh wait, no. It's not. It keeps showing me the different tag. Yeah, this is not going to be buffed by the Primal Core, but I don't think that matters too much. 310 damage on a pretty low cooldown is certainly a nice item. We could go to a Hexa. I don't know that we need to. I'm kind of inclined to go to Outland's Dervish here because we can get some cooldown reduction. They also have crit chance. But yeah, if we can get one of these Clockwork Blades, reducing our items' cooldowns by 2% would be pretty nice. I have also changed how that works. So cooldown now, again, there's going to be less of it in the game overall, cooldown reduction. But also you can't like bump up your item with higher cooldown and then use a feather on it or anything like that to try and gain some even more cooldown reduction. So yeah, interesting change there. You know, how much money do we realistically have to work with? So we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 to work with. I do like just taking this opportunity to gain more experience here. I think that could be most beneficial to us in the long term. And wow, machine learning can upgrade our core. Can also get this hasting. Yeah, let's just take the core upgrade. Why not? I do want to use this thing. And there's Kev's armory. They could have an upgrade to our Tanky Ankey. But I also like going mountain pass here and seeing if we can get something nice. And okay, a monster fight's definitely good. I feel like I'm pretty confident we can defeat the Trash Town Mayor as well. And they give us another opportunity to try and get an expedition ticket. The expedition ticket is also something that is available when we're utilizing the aerodrome later in the game. If we have 20 gold, we can just purchase the ticket outright. So I'm not too worried about getting it here. And okay, augmented weaponry is super nice. Well, with augmented weaponry, let's sell this, sell this, sell this. Plasma grenade could have some uses, but I'm willing to sell it just to gain some more damage on our weapons. So this skill, for every small item we sell, we gain 1 damage. And yeah, do we want to change up our board here? Notably, the dinosaur is faster than the box cutter. So if we wanted to be having our primal core go off more quickly, it would make sense to move this. But I think I just want to keep things as they are. This primal core also gives us the relic type, so I think that that's good, especially for our Flintstones. So let's fight this Vanessa. See what they have for us here. So 1200 HP, they have more than us. Toxic Fang, Yeti Crab, Catfish, Water Wheel. I see they have a knee brace. They have a Frozen Bludgeon as well. Man, this Snowstorm skin is also super potent. Whenever you freeze an item, whenever you freeze, gain 30 damage on a weapon. So that's super potent, but we can see that we're doing way more damage than they are. I'm just curious about our damage numbers. Yeah, I mean, just at this phase of the game, doing 315 damage pretty quickly. It feels pretty good, and yeah, our box cutter doing good things for us too. Okay, feeling pretty good about our runs so far. Let's see where we can take it. Here's Curio. Again, what would I really want from Curio? There's certainly cooldown reduction, damage buffs. You know, we have a lot of gold to work with. I don't really want to spend it on Curio, though. I am just going to go to the Lost and Found and get something for free. Okay, Crude Tools. This is a new item. So, Small Tool Relic. We've at a 6-second cooldown. Charge 1 tech item for 1 second. And if you have exactly 1 tech item, its cooldown is reduced by 1. So we have no tech item, but that doesn't mean we won't get one later. This can be a pretty nice enabler, something that's kind of similar to batteries as I evaluate it. And here's the opportunity for a docks, but let's go to Quixel. Okay, there is a dinosaur. Dinosaur. This item is tripping me up, I swear. The Saur versus a Saur. Yeah, let's take the dinosaur. And I don't really want duct tape or power drill. Cybersecurity is also very powerful, but I would like to play this dinosaur. So the dinosaur, this is going to look a little strange, but essentially what I'm doing here is, and this is a tech item, it is not. So I'm going to try and maximize the amount of times that our dinosaur is able to do its thing and also still win the fight. So with that being said, let's check on the different items that we could get from these, or how many items I should say that each of these monster encounters has. So we can look at that now, bazaar.gg. We are on day 5. Yeah, we're on day 5 here. So Sabertooth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Flame Juggler, or is it the Infernal Envoy? Yeah, the Infernal Envoy, 5. Then the Trash Town Mayor, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the Trash Town Mayor does also have the ticket, which I would like. If we could even upgrade this augmented weaponry skill, that'd be good. But the Sabertooth has an opportunity for us to destroy a lot of items, and thus it'll make our dinosaur more potent and powerful. I do like that. That being said, we know it can defeat the Trash Town Mayor. I really would like to start utilizing this to destroy items and put 10 damage on our board. Feel pretty confident as well that we can take some of these items off, and maybe, yeah, this is not going to do much for us. I feel like with this setup we could probably still defeat the Sabertooth just from Tanky Ankey alone, and this is going to give our other dinosaurs 10 damage, so we have 1, 2, 3 dinosaurs. Yeah, and this is also for the Primal Core too. Okay, for as much as the Trash Town Mayor has good things for us, I'm going to try and start scaling our dinosaur. And honestly, getting the diamond fangs could be good here. Even getting the shiny fangs could be nice, but this fight really is just all about gaining more damage on our board from this dinosaur. That's a weird thing. Whenever I hover over it, the game seems to crash a little bit, so don't love that. But okay, we killed them faster than I would have liked, so we only got one charge out of that, but that's okay. Wow, diamond fangs? Don't mind if I do. If you can get this to diamond, that'd feel really good. A silver tier friend. This is a friend, but I do like just guaranteeing the most amount of money here. And gunpowder, okay. Probably won't utilize that realistically, but still a good item. And yeah, so we have this dinosaur. Are we ready to use it? I guess we don't have to make that decision right now. With this B1, B2, I think also this is a good opportunity to upgrade our Tanky Ankey guaranteed. And this notably will give minus 25 damage to our opponents, which is really nice. 2 income. There are a lot of days left in the Bazaar, so that could be pretty nice for us. I'm also wondering if we still want to play this forklift over other items. Well, if we go to Andy, if we find an upgrade to these sort of things, that'd be nice. I do really like investing in myself. You know, when I say it out loud, it sounds even better, so I'm going to do it. It's pretty late to take that, but I think it could still be very good for us. And, okay, so I do still want to utilize these items. And if we can get a trigger on this dinosaur, that'd be great. I guess I can also pop this gunpowder on our Uzi. It feels pretty nice. And am I going to utilize this? Probably not. I'm going to keep these two around, though. But yeah, our dinosaur is doing pretty decent damage. Our Uzi, we're going to charge our Primal core. And if that's the case, then I think if that's what we're trying to do, we just want to put the dinosaur, or the dinosaur next to the Primal core. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I really want to play this. I mean, 310 damage is a lot, but we also have a pretty beefed up board here too, and I would like to trigger this if it does go off and buff up our other items. So let's run it.
I may be young for a captain, but I've seen my share of storms.
Alright, so 1050 health. They have tempering, but they have multiple weapons. Interesting. Okay, so they're a primal or an elemental depth charge build. When we get this dinosaur off, that is going to feel pretty good. We may not even get there. They do freeze us, but yeah, this doesn't even go off. But I guess I'm not really complaining. A win's a win, you know? This is a pretty scary crab. Deadly mantis shrimp. Nice. Okay. Another win for us. Feels pretty nice. And, ooh, wow, okay. Monster skills are generally very potent, so I'm going to take a look at them. When you gain regen, a burn item gains +1 burn. I don't think we're doing that. When you freeze, a weapon gains 60 damage. This can be obscenely strong. I think Petrifying Gaze, though, is strong enough without having to try and do anything, so I'm here for that. And there's Nightshade, but we don't have a poison item, so just gonna keep going here, and instead of getting a small weapon, I'm gonna gain a weapon and 2 gold, so just a little more economy compared to trying to get a small weapon. Alright, well, Lich has been nerfed slightly. I don't know that that means that we can defeat them. I also, again, would really like to utilize this dinosaur, so I'm going to take this off. I'm going to just do this, I believe. This should be good enough to defeat this fella right here. We still have all the tags enough for this. Yeah, let's... because this isn't making things a dinosaur. No, okay. Yeah, let's go to the trash golem. And hopefully we won't destroy them so quickly that we won't get a trigger here. Their items are scary, but we've basically turned all of our dinosaurs into shielded items with the Tanky Ankey. So it's that every time that one of our dinosaurs deals damage, we're going to gain that much shield in return. So it feels pretty good. And yeah, we only got one trigger of this dinosaur. That is, you know, our board's powerful. What can I say? But it still feels nice to get 10 gold. Okay, when you use an ammo item, reload the item to the left of it. That could come in handy for sure. Alright, well, this is a tough decision. So our normal board looks something like this. So do we want to put it on the Diana or to the Tanky Ankey? I think we just want to put it on this because we would get an even higher damage negation. But the Dino Sawer would allow us to scale our items by 20 damage whenever it goes off instead of 10. I think overall this Tanky Yankee could be better in the mid game, so I'm going to go ahead and bump this up to that 50 minus 50 damage from our opponent's weapons. And here's the Artisan Dunes. Let's go to JJ. We have a lot of money to work with. Pylon, no. Weak point, no. Charcoal is very strong. Not really doing that sort of thing though. Here's a motherboard. I don't think I really would like that. Again, these could be another tech item for our forklift, but I'm not dissatisfied where our build is at currently. And I don't know that we really need to go into the forklift build regardless of this being a pretty good item. I guess we could have upgraded it and then had a very potent damage dealer, but I would like to showcase the dinosaurs, so that's my reasoning for that. Okay, Andy is pretty good here. And fiber optics is a very powerful item. I like taking that. Crypto also good. Investing in the future. And here's a battery. I really like the battery. So this battery will help us charge this Diana. And then we could do something like this. And then thus this will be charging these things. We could also put our fiber optics on board. I don't think we need to do that just yet. I think that this makes sense to me where we are trying to get this thing to really proc. And although we didn't upgrade it, I think that it'll be a good decision for us. So let's see if this is a weapons Vanessa, and then thus we will feel justified in our purchase, and they are weapons Vanessa. Okay. Shark claws and minus 20 katana. Love to see that. Minus 20 fang as well. This is a gold tier shark claws though, so they will get their damage back pretty quickly, but I think we're gonna be okay here regardless. Yeah, this item looks pretty insane, I must say. Okay, is the box cutter a neutral item? That's interesting, they have one too. Alright. Regardless, it's very strong. Okay, so going into day 11 here, certainly have a lot of money to work with. Selling crypto for 6, well, we could do a little bit better than that, right? Let's go to JJ. Blast doors is nice. Angry balloon bot. Does synergize rather well with Tanky Ankey, but it is not the tags that I would like. Plasma grenade, also good, but nah. And nah, you know, barbed wire also, I guess could be very strong, but I don't think it's necessarily stronger than the things that we're doing right now. And B1, B2, nothing to upgrade currently. Let's go to Andy, see if we can get an upgrade. Okay, big red button. This can be really nice if we find a Mamasaur, and thrusters can also be very powerful. I am willing to get some combination of these. I will sell the goggles, I'll sell off the boot. I will take the red button for sure. Do I want these thrusters? We have the opportunity to make an item have +2 multicast down the line if we get these, so yeah, I'm going to take this. I'm going to reroll here, see if we can get an upgrade. We don't. There is the remote control, which we're a little late to pivot into that new item. So yeah, okay. There is the hydraulic press, I believe it's called, but we could have transitioned into, but I don't think we want to do that. Okay, Ghost Pepper. I don't know that we necessarily want to fight Ghost Pepper. Let's take a look. So back to howbazaar.gg. I believe we're on day 7. Yeah, Ghost Pepper. Not really anything we super want. The +1 XP would be nice. Joyful Jack has a floor spike, which is kind of nice. Not super sold. Sergeant Suds. They have Rivet Gun, which is interesting. I don't think we play Dishwasher. I don't know that we really want any of these fights. I'm not too confident that we can kill Ghost Pepper through their regen. We do have a lot of shielding. Joyful Jack 1550. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. Yeah. Uncertain, again, if we even win this fight. And I don't want to be behind on XP. I guess we would be munching on a lot of their items at the very least. But I'm kind of inclined to go for the safer fight here in Joyful Jack. I think we're going to get at least one trigger of this thing. It could be a world where we transition into a poppy field build. Realistically, we have some pretty potent small items, so that would be kind of cool. And we're at least going to get one proc of this thing. Again, if we could find a Mamasaur or something like that, that'd be great. The problem is we're not really scaling super well into the late game. We don't have a powerful synergy to guide us, so I am getting a little bit worried. And wow, okay. Well, there is that. So we sell the forklift? I think at this point we might actually utilize that forklift. I don't want to sell the crypto. I should have taken it when it was 6. Don't look. Okay. Poppy fields. So with the poppy field, we could do some interesting stuff. I'm not there just yet, but I think when we look at poison skills, there is, whenever we poison our weapons, gain more damage. So will we really completely pivot our run just for this? We already put our gold enchant on this thing. Our gold level up. Yeah, let's just go for regular gold tier skills. First time you use a large item each fight, adjacent items gain 20 crit chance. It's certainly a good one. Your shield items have their cooldowns reduced by 5. I do like that. Crit chance, we don't have any crit chance on our board. I could do something like this. Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. Finn's big bite. Now let's go to Ayla. Race Carl. We're not hasting. Okay, there's a Diana upgrade. Certainly going to take that. Don't think I want anything else here. There's Paul. Yeah, Paul could have an upgrade for this. We need to sell this to do it, because we have 2 gold. I guess I could have a Mamasaur too, which I would feel inclined to take. No, there's the forklift upgrade. And I know this tooltip is broken, but it gains 1.5 second adjacent charge, or if you use an adjacent item, charge at 1.5 seconds. But it also gain 50 more damage, so again, we have 1, 2. I guess we have kind of sold out of a lot of that stuff. Yeah, I'm not too inclined to take the forklift here. I'm curious as to what a poppy-filled board would look like for us. So you just kind of do like this sort of thing. I'm not super sold on that. Let's just stick with the current plan. Yeah, I'm not going to buy this forklift. Would I reroll to try and find the Mamasaur? I would. Yeah, I would. Let's do it. Well, there it is. Okay, so I think with that I feel comfortable selling out of some of these items. Do I still want the Uzi? So I'm not sure that I'm going to play the Mamasaur on this current board as well. I kind of want to scale it a little bit more before I want to play it. It's a 9-second cooldown. I'm not even sure that you want to play both of these items on your board, is the other thing. Why is it railgun? There we go. I do want to buy it to scale it later though. And with big red button, that could be nice. Honestly, with fiber optics, that could be pretty good too, now that I think about it. So I'm going to sell the thrusters here. I am going to buy the Mama, and I'm going to think a little bit about this. So what we could do is we could do something like this. And so, not like that specifically, I guess something like this, because I believe maybe even this. Is this checking correctly? Regardless, so we could utilize like the dinosaur, and then that'll charge our dinosaur. We could even take the primal core off. Man, the box cutter's so much damage. Do something This doesn't make sense either, I don't think. Can't move my items. Okay, 1 second. Okay. So yes. I don't know. I think we could do something like this. And then that we would be maybe doing a lot. This is a really high cooldown. We might just be dead by then. We'd really be relying on this Tanky Ankey to do its thing. I don't think we need to do that just yet. The Primal Core is doing good things for us. Diana's doing good things for us. I think mainly it's just I don't want to take this box cutter off the board. This is an obscene amount of damage. And I think it's worthwhile trying to facilitate its damage. And yeah, do something like this makes sense. So these gain the crit chance. And let's fight this Pygmalion. There's something like a drum build that could be bad for us as they get under us and they start scaling their damage. Looks like they're a showcase build, so we might have just enough time here, especially with this item. And yeah, look at these minus damage. Tanky Ankey, my best friend here. Once Dinosaur starts chomping, it's going to feel pretty nice for us too. The Wrist Warrior's gone off, but that's kind of perfect because I want my Dinosaur to keep eating. And it's eating well. Okay. If we had a Mamasaur there instead of the Tanky Ankey, I think we might have died. So, yeah, if we want the Mama, I think we want to take the Primal Core off. And that's really about that. Okay, so non-weapon items, I don't think we want any of those. Jules Cafe, could try and hedge here, but let's just take a small weapon. Oh, okay. Nice to see that one. So this is, unfortunately, it's just not better than our silver tier one because we've been scaling this thing. But with our PvP fight, we can do something like this, and that'd be pretty nice. I mean, this is pretty similar. Yeah, let's look at some weapons here. Wow, that's super strong. Oh yeah, this is a new item I was talking about, but let me just buy this thing and ogle at its damage for a second. Ooh, shiny. Anyway, hydraulic press. So they immediately nerfed this thing. It used to have a 16-second cooldown, so 20-second cooldown. At the end of each fight, permanently destroy the item to the left of this, and this gains that item's type, and it has 100 damage for each type that it gains. So this is, it looks like, oh yeah, like we've seen the big vat of acid, the same thing. Let me tell you right now, this thing is way better than a vat of acid. So if you see this, you should be scared. Anyway, so yeah, our Tanky Ankey, this thing is not our biggest damage dealer. I think I'm comfortable taking it off the board just so that I can try and do some chomping. And with that, we might take our Primal Core off the board. I don't know. It does a lot of damage. Yeah, at this phase of the game, it's starting to do less, so I am thinking that it may be worthwhile to do something like so. Even something like so. Just for the next fight here. And I would like to gain as many triggers of this thing as I can. So I'm kind of inclined to fight Bouncertron just because I think they'll survive a little longer. Yeah, let's go to Bouncertron. They have a little more HP. They also have Sharpened Steel. Notably, they do have a pretty scary board, and it's one that could kill us, but I think we'll be okay here. I think once we start chomping, we'll be in a pretty good spot. Yeah, certainly a lot of chomping here. We're gonna get one more. No, we've chomped enough. Alright. So yeah, adding 40 damage to these items feels pretty good. Definitely take that. Pulse rifle. Okay, not really so interested in that. Side hustle versus a random loot. I'll just take the gold here, that could make the difference. And Pearl's dig site. Alright. Notably, we have not found our ticket yet. Which we may not find our ticket. That's okay. But yeah, let's go to Pearl's. Wow, shiny force field, huh? It's pretty good. I do like this temporal navigator item, I just don't think we need that. Heavy Dooley scarf, cool. Not what we're looking for. Neither are these. I don't want to roll too deep here. This is a lot of money, so I'm going to take it. And Nufu, that's 16 gold's pretty nice. This back on board. These are going off much quicker. Do this whole thing. Actually, we want to do this because of our flanking critical skill. This box cutter is so strong. I think we want to play it. I think we still want to play it. Yeah, skill versus trying to find a Tanky Ankey upgrade. Skill, I think, could just be more powerful overall. When you upgrade a friend, not necessarily interested in these. So, when one of your dinosaurs deals damage, gain that much shield. I don't think that will add 20 shield. Let's keep rolling. Alright, this flanking critical skill is also good. Machine learning good too. Sell off. We could also go to Mandala for this. Now let's just lock it in here. So do we want 25 crit chance or more damage here? I think we're going to go for more damage here. It also gets to be a 5-second cooldown at this point, so I do like that. Alright, we're facing another Dooley, and they might be a dinosaur build too, which would be scary, because ours is not super scaled, but I'm going to take a risk here regardless. I'm not going to put the Mama Saur on board or the battery, because I think that this is just the most damage that we can do. It looks like they are a build of dinosaurs. Yeah, so they're going to chop some of our items, but we're going to do a lot of damage in the meantime. We kill our dinosaur. Honestly, that's okay. This Obsidian Dino Sawer is, I think, the real name of the game here. This thing is really big, but they've now run out of batteries, so I think we're going to be in an okay spot. Or they didn't run out of a battery, but yeah, pretty close. You can kind of see what I'm saying here. So their dinosaur was way, way bigger than ours. So that is kind of some indication that we should probably pivot here. But don't need to do that just yet. It's still frozen, huh? Get out of there. Get out of there. Alright. We have a lot of money to work with. Let's go to JJ. Metronome. Charge a tech item. We don't have a tech item outside of this battery or the big red button. I mean, charging the big red button could be pretty good, especially if it's our only tech item. I do also see this golden metronome, and this item is generally pretty cracked, so I think I'm inclined to take that. What are we really trying to do with our board? We're trying to get to 10 wins here. We're just a little behind the 8 ball in terms of damage is the only thing. And how do we get there? I mean, I guess we're just trying to scale damage through our Mama and Diana. Yeah, that's one way to do it. I guess, yeah, I don't really think I want any of these items. Let's keep going. Okay, 3D printer. Transform into 3 gold copies of the small non-legendary item to the left of this for the fight. So would we get 3 of the Obsidian dinosaur? Well, it would be bad if we did, because it wouldn't be scaled. Okay. Yeah, not really what we're looking for. I know DJ Robot is also pretty good. Now it's called DJ Circuit Breaker, huh? Alright. And maybe there's something in Kina that'll give us a little bit more direction. I will rebuy the thrusters here in case that we do see that new item that can give our vehicle 2x multicast. We do not see it. Okay, Terra Forearm. This is a new monster that I know nothing about. So, what better time to try and do some fun things to scale our board? Okay. Yeah, no time like the present. Yeah, let's fight him. What the heck? So they have Torpedo. They have this Biomerge arm. Pretty scary. Okay, we get 1 chomp, and that's it. But when an item runs out of ammo, deal 100 damage. The item to the left of this has 100 crit chance and +1 max ammo. What? So this Piranha has ammo. What? And then the item to the left of this has the ammo item type. Wow, okay. And then passive power. Your items with no cooldown have plus 25% damage, burn, poison, shield, heal, and regen. Okay, that'd be cool. And yeah, a lot of interesting items here. I don't think we're utilizing this torpedo, but it's money to me. And yeah, so this is something interesting too. The level 10 enchant now is completely random. So we don't know what this is going to give us. And thus I don't have a good informed decision on what I should be putting it on. Tanky Ankey doesn't have the enchants that I would necessarily want in terms of whenever you use a dinosaur, do X. Generally, it's when Tanky Ankey does X, deal damage or poison or burn equal to its, or at some percentage of its damage. So I think, what is the most powerful thing here? I mean, I could put it on like another Dinosaur, and then we could try and get the thing to diamond with our Diamond Fang skill. That could be good. Sure, let's do that. Freeze. Wow, okay. Freeze one small item for 1 second. It's pretty good. And hey, we have a lot of gold here, so luck seems like pretty nice. Let's go there. Notably, these are friends. So we could take the Primal Core off, could take the Box Cutter off, and then would we have enough for this? So it'd be 1, 2, 3. Because I think I'd want to keep Tanky Ankey on board. Primal Core. So let's make some room here real quick. Because I want to just see what this would look like. So do these have 0.25 or 2.5? They do. So yeah, giving everything 2 times multicast by giving up the Primal Core and the Box Cutter. So I think that'd be kind of insane. Insane in a good and bad way. Let's sell that. And, okay, can't click my items. 1 moment. Oh, I think we're good. Okay, cool. So take this off. And yeah, I could 2 times multicast these guys. It's got to be powerful. And then I could potentially even replace this, depending on the fight. Yeah, Primal Core. Was it doing anything for us that I'm not realizing? I don't think so. Let's sell that. And then sell the thrusters. Yeah, I'm not so certain that we're going to be using the fiber optics, but it could be useful when we have items that are going to be 2 times multicasting. I don't want to sell the box cutter. I guess I'll sell the thrusters. I'm doing it yet again. Sell this, sell this. I don't want to sell the box cutter. It's done too much good for us. Alright, so now everything has +1. Okay. It's gotta be good, right? And I don't really know what I could get from Curio, but I'll go there just to take a look. More damage. Yeah. Should have just gotten something for free. Okay, so let's see what our fight is. If we think that maybe they're not a weapons build, which a Mac may not be a weapons build, then it makes sense to put Mama Saur on board. But this giving us shielding on all these guys, I think, is worth it. I could even have had like 1 small item take Tanky Ankey off, but I don't know. I feel like this is still good. It's really these items here. Oh wow, okay. So we did actually take off our synergy, so we need 1 more. Oh, okay. Whoop, whoop, alright. So now that they're not as fast, it's like, man, I have damned us. I have damned us all. So do I want the mama on board? Just so these go off faster? I mean, it's kind of similar, right? I guess, yeah, Mama Saur on board is a damage dealer versus is it going to be doing 4 times? Or going to be doing 300 plus 600, 900? No. So here's my thinking, is that yes, I've screwed up the synergy here so that these are going off slower, but by putting Mama Saur on board, we're reducing the multicast here. So I guess we're taking off 150, 450, and putting on 340 versus having the robotics factory on board. Yeah. Okay. I think it may make sense actually just to keep Mama Saur on board, because if we are trying to scale regardless, this is going to be better. And I think if we're playing against a Mac this late in the game, having this freeze go off faster could be good for us. So we're not at robotics factory territory just yet, apparently. But hopefully soon enough we shall be. Alright, so they have a heavy Tomb of the Ancients. They have a 2x multicast on the Idol of Decay. This thing is doing poisoning, so this is a real big thing here. Yeah. I want to get to Chomp in here. There's one Chomp. Okay, we've killed their most potent damage dealer. But they have a ton of poison and burn on us. Yeah. It's a lot of burn. This fiery life conduit and the Idol of Decay, plus this heavy Tomb of the Ancients, pretty potent. I don't think that having the Robo Factory would have changed that, but okay. So the aerodrome, now we're past day 9, so we can't do the thing I would like. And I would like to find a way to get these going off, so I would like to find, I think, like a medium dinosaur. So let's go to JJ. No. It's reduced by if you have at least 4 other dinosaur tools or relics. So I wonder if it wants 4 dinosaurs, 4 tools, or 4 relics specifically. I guess I could test that, but I don't necessarily want to use the Flint stones to do so. Also, friends could be very good for us. Mandala. No. I guess Mandala. No. Let's just go to Curio. A little more damage, sure. Not gonna go too hard on this. So, do want to do, I think, this. And could fight the Lord of the Wastes, I suppose. Do we want to try and put like a fiber optics on board? No, that would mess up this synergy. Okay. Yeah, let's just run it and hope we don't kill him too quickly. Valkus Enforcer, I think that they could potentially just freeze us out of the game. I'm unsure about that. But there is also some good things to be had here from Lord of the Wastes. The skill has been changed, so your weapons deal double crit damage could be good. Also having a pendulum, I think, could be nice for us. I'm having a feeling we just kill them before we can chomp. 1 chomp? 2 chomps. Nice, okay. I'll take 2 chomps. And, ooh, okay. Energy potion is nice. Dooley skills, freeze skills. Freeze skills, I think, because we have this icy dinosaur, could be good. Haste each fight, freeze. Slow, no. First 10 times you use the core, each fight, freeze 1 item. No. Burn, poison. Well, we're not going to get a core back. So none of these items really make sense for us. Burn each fight, poison each fight. I guess we could potentially get another item that's a core, so I'll take the liquid cooled because it has the highest upside. Alright, let's go to Quixel. Scrap metal, no. This is crude tools, so... Or this is a tool. These care about tools and relics. I am kind of interested to see if we can make that work. And yeah, this Robo Factory. I guess we'd take this off the board. I don't know. That doesn't see. I think it would be just Diana. And then we try and have 2 tools. Yeah. Or 2 dinosaurs. I do want to check to see if this is, if these are counting dinosaurs all together or if they're counting each of these individually. So I do want to reroll here. And I will sell the mama off. We're getting to the point where I don't think we want to be doing that. There's a tech. There's a dino saddle. Vehicles have +1 multicast. We sold the thrusters. That's okay. I was really hoping we could find a small tool, dinosaur or relic. This is a medium one. We could break down our Tanky Ankey, but I think that this, when one of your dinosaurs deals damage, gain that much shield is genuinely so powerful for us. Let's just keep going here. There's Ayla. There's a combat core. Are cooled, but not really sold on that. Let's roll here. Not the items we're looking for. Okay. Well, again, we're fighting a Mac. And we sold off the Mama. I guess we could just run this and see how it looks. Again, we could put the crude tools on, or box cutter rather. Wait, this is a tool. 1, 2. Okay, so it just looks to see if you have any of those type. It doesn't need to be like 4 dinosaurs. All right. That being said, is this better? We're not charging a tech item. None of these are tech items. We'd be charging our robotics factory. So we're giving up 600 damage to put 500, and these are faster on board. I guess we're giving up what is realistically 700, just because this goes off twice. But yeah, these going off slower, I think, is a detriment to us. And we're close to 600 in this box cutter already. So I'm gonna run it, and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, I ideally don't want to be playing these crude tools, but gotta do what we gotta do. Right, so they have this apothecary. Well, alright, so you know, the Robo Factory is good. It's good. It's just, we have to finagle it with some strange items, because these having 2 times multicast on a 2.5 second cooldown is insane. Doing 1200 damage. I guess that's really 1200 plus another 400 or so. Yeah, 1600 is pretty nice. Okay. Well, Andy, please give us the things we're looking for. It's not a tool, but it will copy itself into another tool. Or one of these. Okay. It's better than what we're working with. There is battery, lens, power sander. No. Alright. We don't have a poison item yet again. And I'm just going to take this opportunity to put some more damage on our board. And Trash Titan, I would really love to get the juggler skill. If I could get at least 1 bite, that'd be great, but I'm not going to be able to get that. I'm pretty confident we're just going to kill him before that. Is there any way that we can maybe take this off? No, they're still going to be killing him before that happens. I guess we could do this. This. At least get some more damage on these guys. Why is this kind of its cooldown reduced? I'm confused. Very confused. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure that we're going to get a chomp, but let's go for it. If you have exactly 1 tech item, its cooldown is reduced by 1 second. What is happening here? What am I missing? Is it one of these? Oh yes, Diamond Fangs. Right. Okay. So yeah, let's hope we get the juggler skill here. And then if we can get a chomp on this Diana, that'd be great too. Nice. We get a jump. So more damage on these feels pretty nice. Ectoplasm, not what we're looking for. Well, let's see if we can get cooldown reduction from this. Extract. The game really wanted us to go poison. It's not what we did. So let's do the things. Okay, so crude tools, right, we don't want that, we want the box cutter. And yeah, it's going to turn into a tool or one of these other things. So at the start of the fight, so we should be good. Non-weapon item. I don't think I need any of that. Let's get a shield item. Maybe it's an upgrade. No, it's a dino disguise. I think it's too late to do that. I think that these things are powerful enough. And these are friends, so... Air conditioner. When you use a friend or the core, charge it. No. Hey, Dualtron. I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. Let's just go to this fight here. Fight another Vanessa. I think our damage is pretty good, and I think, again, our Dino Sawer is going off at 2.5 seconds as strong. They have a fiery submersible at 1.8 seconds. Yikes, okay. Luckily, we're shielding. We're not... It's going to be scaling because of this Julian, which is tough for us, and we're not scaling our damage, so I think they've got us here just by that virtue. Unless... We'll at least get our death enchant. It's weird, we are putting up a good fight, but I don't think it's going to be a big enough fight. Yeah, finally just crits and puts us out of our misery. Okay, so we'll get our death enchant at the very least, and then this could be pretty game-changing for us. And notably, this has changed so that it gives us 2 guaranteed, or it'll show you what it's going to give us. Okay. Well, let's take a look at what we should do here. So, Tanky Ankey just has double shield. I don't think that's really what we want. I guess, how much fire does it do? 10%? Okay, it's something to consider. Robotics Factory. Burn for 3, or shield 30. Don't think we want that. Box cutter, it's not even in here. Okay. So we could add even more shielding, which I guess is fine. Do we have anything that synergizes with burn? Not really. Doesn't mean we can't find that. Do we put it on one of these things? I don't think we really want to. Again, we could just swap these out, and start chomping with this thing. Maybe that's really what we're supposed to be doing right now. And something like this. I could see that. I could definitely see that. So I think it would be the Robo Factory. This would get probably 10%, so do like 80 burn. It's not nothing. What about fiber optics? Yeah, the fiber optics are kind of unimpressive too. I think I am just gonna go for the shielding here. And I'm inclined to put it on this robotics factory. I'd rather have an offensive upgrade, but shielding 30 isn't nothing. It's certainly not what Tanky Ankey was giving us, but I'm kind of seeing that we're at the point where this item is still strong, but we are pretty weak comparative to our opponents in terms of synergy, so if we can start chomping their synergies, that may do some good things for us. Okay, I don't really want to go to Paul, but I'm going to go to Paul because I don't want the other things, and maybe there's something that's good. Shield items have +1 multicast. I don't think this works in the way that I want, where I'd put that on board with the bunker, and then all my shield or all my dinosaurs would have +1 multicast, and I've already kind of done that with the Robo Factory, so yeah, I don't know that there's another large item that we really want here, so let's keep going. Skill versus hasting, cooldown reduction. I mean, if we really could get a fiber optics upgrade, that'd be great. We do have a lot of money to work with for his skills, so... And then what else are we looking for? Yeah, we would really just want a fiber optics upgrade, I believe. Which I think would be the best out of these options for sure. But there could be a really potent skill for us. Heavy firepower is not it. If you have a vehicle, reduce non-vehicle items cooldowns by 10. We don't have a vehicle. Oh wait, we do. Okay. Yeah, I mean, better than nothing. Let's do that, and thus these will have lower cooldowns. It's pretty nice. Awakened District. I think we could chomp them. They don't have enough items for us to chomp, I believe, is the only problem. Yeah, so let's go to Lord of the Wastes. If we get maybe the pendulum, that could be good for us. One chomp, please. No, okay. Fine. I could have, I guess, better prepared our board for that to get at least one chomp, so that's my mistake anyway. Obsidian letter opener, huh? Right. So it can upgrade an item. I think it might just be the fiber optics, honestly. Although reducing this item's cooldown by 20 could be good. I think we need to chomp on our opponent's boards, so I do want to just get that upgrade. Let's go to Ayla, see if we can make up for it. No, this is a hacksaw. It's not really what we want. The letter opener is also a relic, I believe. It's not dinosaur naturally. That's a tool. It looked like it wasn't better than making a box cutter, so. Yeah, here's an upgrade. Okay. I think with that, do we want to freeze or do more damage? Let's do more damage. So this will have a 2-second cooldown instead of 2.5. That will hopefully get our dinosaur off the ground and running a little faster. And hopefully when this chomps, it will take out the key items that our opponents have. And this is our last day here. Regardless, let's sell all of our small items to get our augmented weaponry value. Let's fight them. I guess we wouldn't want to see like an eels build or one weapon build, but one weapon build with the right ratio we could still chomp on, and it looks to be a one weapon build. If we can destroy the sniper, that'd be great. Looks like we don't even need to. Alright. Very nice. Let's just replay that for the glory. Let's look. Why not, you know? So, this gets slowed, which was super unfortunate for us. But we're just dealing so much damage, and yeah, taking out their silencer was pretty nice. The Clamora didn't really matter, but we just did enough to go really quick. And man, this little guy in a race car over here is doing the thing. Okay. Well, this is not the dinosaur build that I thought it would be. I didn't think we'd be putting a Robofactor on our board to get there, but man, I think Box Cutter was MVP of this run. Just doing so much damage for us early on that it kind of carried us through the early portions of the game. And then yeah, we made that blunder where we sold the primordial core off, or I'm not going to say we. I'm just going to say me. Sold that off, and thus we're in this position where we kind of had this awkward part where we wanted these to go off quicker, but they weren't. And that's okay. We made up for it by finding the right items, and we gained 6 chests and another level. So love to see that. All this being said, I appreciate you joining me here for another run of the Bazaar Overexplained. I am the Bazaar Whisperer. I could tell you to like, I could tell you to subscribe, but overall, I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening. Bye-bye.